Hi everyone, welcome to today's session, which is the Academic and Social Student Panel. Please do not forget to check in. Before we start with the session, I'm just going to acknowledge the country. We acknowledge and pay our respects to the Ghana people, the traditional custodians whose ancestral lands we are. We acknowledge the deep feelings of attachment and relationship of the Ghana people to country, and we respect and value their past, present, and ongoing connection to the land and cultural beliefs. All right, so I'm Sana. I'm doing I'm in the final semester of my Bachelor of Psychological Science. I'm an international student from India, and I've been here 3 years. I'm a senior IPM, which is a international peer mentor, and I'm also the president of Adelaide Indian Student Society. So I'm just going to go ask the panelists to introduce themselves.
All right. Hi, so I'm Ryan, and I'm a third-year biomedical science student. So I'm from Malaysia, but I've been in Adelaide for 4 years, and it's been an amazing time here. Right. I'm representing the Adelaide Union events team as a student experience director, and what we do is we help facilitate some of the union's events. So we have 4 main themes throughout the year, and we have an upcoming event coming up with the Connect Week on the 2nd week of uni. So it's all about connecting with people, and the sets, we are running our own event in conjunction to that, which is a very chill, like, indoor board games event. So it's be happening at the mezzanine on the 4th of August, and just feel free to come for popcorn, hot chocolate, and just a good time.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, and I'm doing my Bachelor's of Computer Science, and I'm in my last semester. I'm from India, and I'm representing the International Peer Mentors today. So basically what we do is throughout the year we run events for international students to get settled into university life, and we do this by having events throughout the year, which is communities and LCEs. Communities are happening every Friday during the semester, so make sure you come and say hi to us. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Caleb. I'm in my first year of electrical and electronic engineering with mathematical and computer sciences. I'm here today to represent and talk a bit about Global IQ Connect, which is a program that the university runs that any student is more than welcome to join. We actually have another round coming up very shortly, so stay tuned for some information about that. And it's a fantastic opportunity that is provided to learn a little bit more about, you know, cultural differences and how to work with various cultures. Yeah.
Hi everyone, can you hear me well? Cool. So my name's Olivia and I'm doing a Bachelor of International Relations. I'm currently in my second year of that. I've been in Adelaide all my life. I'm here to represent PASS, otherwise known as Peer Assisted Study Sessions, which is one of the many academic support programs that the university provides. PASS leaders such as myself, we make fun interactive activities for students who are struggling with their courses to help reinforce course content in a nice, casual and supportive environment with their fellow peers. The timetable for PASS has been released, so be sure to check it out on the university website.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Patricia. I am originally from Kenya, and I have been in Adelaide for about 5 years. I am currently doing my master's in project management, and I'm also representing Study Adelaide. You might have seen us all around in emails or just even around university. We do support international students as well as local students through all the events that run around throughout the year in Adelaide. We help acknowledge that, you know, Adelaide is a good place to live, study and work, but also we try to have fun events to make you feel more welcome, encourage you throughout your study, and even just to make friends. Thank you.
Thanks everyone. We're going to start off with the questions, and at any point if any one of you has a question, please raise your hands, and we've got Anthea at the back and she'll bring the mic to you. So I'm just going to go ask the questions. The first question for you guys is, what motivated you to get connected with the program that you are representing right now?
All right, so what motivated me was that previously I joined the Malaysian Student Association as a events director, and I felt that when I saw this ad for being a student experience director, I really passionate about enhancing the students' experience while studying at university. So I felt like this would be a great program to, and a supportive environment to foster my skills with regards to events management. So that's the reason that I applied for this job, and so far it's been pretty fun, and I've learned a lot.
Hi, so what motivated me to become an international peer mentor is being an international student myself. I was offshore for a bit, and during my week, I remember having these amazing IPMs in the blue t-shirts, you know, welcoming me online and stuff like that. So in my second semester, I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to do that for someone else, a new international student coming, not knowing anyone, and just having a friendly face there. So that's what motivated me.
I saw Global IQ Connect, the program, advertised a few times in my first few weeks here at university. And what I was always thinking was, this seems like something completely new, right? I have no idea what really any of this is about. I have no idea what I might gain from it, what I might learn. And honestly, the only way that I would be able to figure that out was to find out what the program was all about, sign up for it and give it a crack. And I must say, for the reason of exploring new things and learning like things that are completely different from your degree, for instance, I feel like that was definitely what motivated me to try the program out, and I feel like I very much was rewarded by doing that, as I was able to take away quite a lot from it.
So what motivated me to be a PASS leader? I used to attend PASS all the time, and I thought I want to be able to give back to students what those previous PASS leaders gave to me. Oh, sorry. Whenever I would attend, they would mention how they were current students helping out, and I thought, oh wow, I'd love to be able to help other people and just talk about something that interests me, and just to be able to help other students during their university journey. So I signed up, and that's why I'm here today.
My story is quite similar to Sarah's. I really wanted to reach out and give back to the community that welcomed me in my first year as an international student, and Study Adelaide did that for me. They were really supportive, helped me make friends, learn more about Adelaide, and look, they had really affordable events that aren't as affordable for students. So pretty much I remember going for their first events, and I met a few friends, and from there I've always subscribed to their emails, gone to their events. And this year I said I wanted to be that student who was supporting other international students who are coming back and who needed to have help, who needed to have a familiar face, someone with a familiar story. And I just wanted to do that. Yeah.
That's great. It's all about, it's all about giving back to the community as well. When you gain so much in a university as prestigious as this, you want to be able to contribute as well. And I agree with Sarah when she said that, you feel like being at one of those positions, when you see them, you have someone to look up to, and then you just want to be there as well. So I definitely agree to that. And it's such a good way to make friends, I feel. I've got so many friends at this point just because of these social and academic programs that I have participated in as a student myself, and now as a part of those programs. So going into these programs, did you have any expectations? Like what you were going to achieve out of them, what you were going to give out? Any expectations at all?
Yeah, absolutely. So joining the union, so knowing that the union hosts all these large events for a larger platform of students, I think my expectation was that it would foster a supportive environment for me to grow as an individual while also giving back to the wider university community, and that's something that definitely has been met. So I got the opportunity to volunteer for the Success Symposium this year, and just seeing how the event was run from planning to execution, it was just something that was an eye-opening experience for me and definitely helped me learn a lot of skills that I wouldn't just learn from my degree itself. So they are translational skills that would just add to your employability, which is really good.
Yeah, so the IPM is a volunteering position, which would seem like a very chill thing. You just come, show up at an event, but it's much more involved. And I think that just exceeded expectations, and it has made me who I am today and has made me more socially out there. And I'm not afraid to, just go up to someone and be like, hey, I'm Sarah, and just introduce myself. And it has got me out of that little bit of antisocial shell. So I appreciate everything they've done.
I think possibly on the contrary to our last two answers to that question, I went into the program without set expectations because it was something that was completely new. And university already as a whole was a completely new environment for me. But trying something that was completely new and different was something that I wasn't strictly sure about how things would go. I wasn't strictly sure about exactly what I'd learn, exactly what I'd get out of it, exactly the friends that I'd make from it. But I must say, from having that, the program had absolutely exceeded those expectations as I have walked out, meeting new friends, learning new things, and really just changing the way that you think about different things. I think that's probably the most powerful aspect that the program did for me.
So going into PASS, I didn't expect to come out of my shell as much as I did. It really helped me build a lot of courage and just motivation, and just inspires me to do more within the program. I expected the program to not be as fun as it actually is, I'll be honest with that. It's so much fun and it's very rewarding, and it just really helped me come out of my shell a lot more. So.
I had one basic expectation: make as many friends as I wanted to. But that has changed. I actually enjoy being able to be pushed out of my comfort zone now, being a Study Adelaide ambassador has pushed me to do things I never thought I'd be able to do, and that's one thing I'm quite grateful for. So in terms of expectations, I think one thing I've learned is have as low expectations sometimes, because you'll always be surprised by the result.
Thank you for that. How do you see your programs, what do you see your programs leading you to next? Where do you think it's going to take you? Is the next question.
Right, that's a great question. Right, so obviously I see my program as a good experience with regards to exposure and event management. So maybe volunteering for some other bigger platform or some event, something like that. So that's where I see this taking me next. Or these are skills that are just as easily can transfer into my future career as well.
I think the program has added a lot more to what I am today. And obviously these skills are going to be transferable. Being a computer science student, it's always, we are very silent, you know, but it will be helpful when they have someone who's so social and can help in other things, perhaps at a company or even at another internship or something like that. So I think that would be really helpful.
So Global IQ Connect is really not like some lecture series. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lectures and that's it. It's a 5-week program where over the program you do have different workshops where you learn about new concepts. But I think the two really important parts of the program are the discussions. So you get to form groups with around, I believe, 3 to 4 other people. And in those groups you like deconstruct and have a great conversation about what we were learning in the workshops, and then there's also a reflection piece. So I'd say to answer the question about where I see things leading for me next, based on the way the program was run, where you really have to do a lot of the thinking, I reckon your mindset with how you approach like culture as a topic is completely changed. Like, you think about things that you've already thought about, but in such like another layer of depth. And so going forward, I believe that not only will I have a better understanding of culture, but I believe that'll allow me to far better interact with and have different experiences with different people from all around the world. It's a fantastic way to prepare for travel as well, if that's something that you'd be considering. But otherwise, it's just a great way to develop as a person and unlock another part of you that you might not have known existed and share that experience with other people.
So PAST has really helped me reignite my passion for my degree. So I would say it pushes me to continue my degree, and it's be very helpful going into any career prospects. It's also very good. It's a good look for employers as well that you've been volunteering at university, and it just helps with when you go into the real world. It does look really good, not only on a resume, but it gives you so many more skills, and it just yeah. Sorry, having me in trouble answering that question, but yeah, it acts as a springboard for other opportunities. It opens up so many doors, and it's something that I would really recommend.
Sorry, just having a moment to think. Your answers have made me think about my answers, Will, but one thing that is standing out for me is that throughout my path in Study Adelaide, or even just volunteering through uni, I've learned that it's always hard to say yes to a risk when you don't know how exciting it could be. But Study Adelaide has made me feel excited about risk taking. And so I don't genuinely know where I'll be taken next. What I do know is I'll be saying yes more in my future.
That's honestly so great, just to be able to say yes to more opportunities. Take all you can while you can. So moving a little bit more towards the academic side now. Can you tell us a little about what academic integrity means in your subject and why is it so important?
Right, so as a biomedical science student and someone who plans to pursue a higher degree by research after this, so obviously academic integrity would mean a lot. So what it means to me is that to give credit where credit is due with regards to sources and ideas, and so that, because you wouldn't want others stealing your ideas, just as you shouldn't take credit for what you didn't originally come up with, basically.
I think even in like the computer science faculty, they take it really seriously, although it's difficult to pick up on in coding and stuff like that. Definitely in the papers and reports and stuff like that, even in the exams, you should ensure that you're not being unethical and doing your work by yourself, because the university is really, it focuses on doing your own work and not plagiarizing. And if you do like reference or take something off of someone, you have to reference them and give credit where it is due.
I believe that academic integrity is very important, as it's like the springboard for professional integrity. And so in an academic environment and launching into a professional environment, having integrity and honesty and trust with everything you do is extremely important. So whatever degree you're doing and whatever career you go into, whether it's maybe a health and medical science, maybe it's computer science, maybe it's engineering, it really doesn't matter. Whatever you're going to be doing, your work will likely impact people. There'll be human consequences to everything you do. And so being aware of that and communicating with other academics, other professionals, and being able to be open and honest in those communications is extremely important, as it allows for, like, it makes sure that what you're doing is affecting people in a positive way. And, you know, if things such as plagiarism and little things like that are going on, that breaks the trust that you have with your other academics. And having that trust broken, like, blocks the communication. And when we can't communicate, we can't have, you know, desirable outcomes with the work that we're doing.
Yes, so as mentioned previously, I am doing a Bachelor of International Relations, and I look to go further into honours and PhD because I want to get into research. I want to become a policy analyst, which involves a lot of research. And one academic integrity is really essential for my desired career. I've got to make sure that the research I do is ethical, and also acknowledging where I get my sources from, and making sure that that the research is my own work, and once again giving credit where credit is due. That's a popular phrase that has come up, but it is very essential.
Academic integrity for me is always defined by a quote that I was told many years ago. We do stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. And so when you do acknowledge where you came, where you got your ideas from, not only does it support and makes what you're saying credible, it also shows that you do respect other people and their opinion. Now, I do also come from a creative background, and artists always steal from each other. But it is always nice to acknowledge that, you know, something or whatever you've come up with is not originally yours. Again, everything is not new under the sun. We do have lots of common themes going on. We're all human. But try your best to, you know, have the integrity to mention where you've gotten your ideas, or, you know, whatever you've read, cite it. And there's lots of information, you know, around the uni where you can be able to ask, check how to become, you know, well-versed in academic integrity. This is not something that you learn immediately. This is something that you can always get to learn and grow in.
Thank you. So since all of us panelists are from different backgrounds, obviously integrity means, like, academic integrity must have meant different for us. So was there anything new that you had to learn when you came to Adelaide, or since as a commencing university student, and do you have any tips for the new students about integrity?
Absolutely. So for when I was in my first year, the uni was pretty heavy on like plagiarism and things like that. So one of my main concerns was just making sure that the way I paraphrase things or rewrite things, even when you like credit sources and things like that, that you're not actually taking too much from it. And I think one module that really helped me with this was the uni has a Turnitin originality checker, which you could download as a module, and you could use that to check the percentage of originality that your report or your assignment is from, and that's something that really helps me keep track while you're still getting used to the systems. There's also a lot of bibliography generators online that are available for you to get used to the Australian Harvard referencing style as well. So I guess that was something new coming to uni. There's like a very specific way that you have to reference something.
Yeah, so I think the first advice would always be take help from like writing center and stuff like that, and they will help you as well to be like, this does not seem right. You maybe want to rephrase that, paraphrase or something like that. And second thing, I think start your assignment early, because when you're very close to the due date, it's so tempting to, you know, just go on the internet, look something up, and then it kind of roams in your mind and you tend to slip up. So just be careful, because I've seen most people who come close to the due date, and that's when they kind of get academic integrity breach. So, yeah.
So I'd be inclined to believe that the core idea of integrity means a very similar thing among everyone. Like no one's out here to deliberately, right from the start, cheat, because we're here to learn, right? The only things that have been have taken a bit of getting used to, I reckon Ryan pointed this out quite a bit, and that's how the university is quite specific on like paraphrasing and making sure that when you do take information from elsewhere, even if it's not like a direct cut and paste quote, just really making sure that you're reading that information, synthesizing it, and writing it in your own words. So a good way to do that would be read something, maybe leave it for a little while, let it settle in your mind for a bit, and then go and do your writing afterwards. Other than that, the university's writing centre is a service that anyone can book an appointment with. Absolutely fantastic. I'd definitely recommend, like, for your first written piece, definitely go and see them. I certainly did for the first time I submitted something that I wrote. And also, as Ryan pointed out too, if you go on My Uni, Turnitin's there. Definitely just run anything you submit straight through there. It's completely free, and the way they have it set up is that it's not going to like store a copy of it. So when you submit the final thing, it's not going to be, oh, someone's already submitted that. So it's a fantastic way. Just make sure everything you submit, run it through there, check the report, and if it's all good to go, then you're probably all good to submit, I'd say, at that point.
So one of the things I had to get used to coming to university was the different referencing styles, which, you know, and we know that referencing and acknowledging sources is just essential for academic integrity. I do a minor in history, but do a major in international relations, and this referencing style is actually quite different. So it's often, I'm still getting used to it, to be honest. But one thing I would recommend is don't be afraid of asking for help. As was said, the writing centre is very good. If you're unsure of how to reference, or if you're unsure that if you're writing something incorrectly, ask your tutor, send them an email, book an appointment with the writing centre. There are good manuals also online that talk about how to reference properly. But yeah, just don't be afraid to ask for help, because academic integrity is very important. So do not be afraid to reach out.
I pretty much agree with what everyone has said. I don't have anything new to add. So yeah.
I'm just going to add one tip, is that if you ever go online and you find a journal that you want to use and you want to cite that, so from top of my head, like if, for example, Google Scholar, if you ever use that, it has a citation option. Don't always trust that. because every university, every institution has its own form of referencing. Obviously, it's a good site, but you should always refer to the manuals that our university has provided to refer your journals and to refer your reports.
Okay, sorry. Just to add on to that, that just reminds me that if you're looking in a university library website itself, there is a citation button. It's one of the options, the toggles on the right side, and that one we can trust a lot more. Because it's specifically for the uni, and that helps loads with the long style referencing.
So coming back to your volunteering roles, tell us a little bit more about the first meeting that you had to attend when you signed up for your volunteering role. What did you feel? Did you feel nervous, excited?
Yeah, so it was a bit nerve-wracking, I would say, because the four of us were complete strangers before that, so there are 4 sets, and we had to meet in the Union House, but it was, I think, the Lady Simmons building or something like that, where it was a room that, so I'm not very good with directions, so that was a trip trying to find. Yep, but I think once everyone got together and we started talking, it was great that we got along great, and I guess it's good to have a great team and a good person that's guiding us through everything. So eventually we got more comfortable with each other, and that's how teamwork starts, I guess.
So I started my IPM journey a year ago, and my first interaction was online because we were still not allowed to be in Adelaide at the moment. And since we all were online, we've kind of met each other prior at some events and knew a little bit of each other. Although it was still new to all of us, we all feel the same way, and we were so eager to interact with each other and get to know each other, because we really wanted to know, like, who else is in the university and what are people doing and how we can help others and not help them face what we faced in doing online studies. So yeah, it was a really fun interaction, and I'm glad I got to meet all these wonderful people.
So with the Global IQ Connect program, really working within those groups, you sort of have an option at the start where if you want to set like a group yourself, particularly if you attend the information session, then that's an option you have. Otherwise, you'll be paired in a group, and that was the option I went with. And so showing up to the first workshop, the first thing we were basically asked to do was like find your other group members, sit down together. And when we did this, one of the fellows that was in my group, I actually recognised we had a chat. It was just outside of the Brags after an orientation panel session just like this. So I'm like, whoa, it's you. And so it was really great to reconnect with him and also meet the other 2 people that were really excited to jump in with our group. And so it was a really exciting first day, actually. I definitely felt that, okay, I'm with some really cool people and we're going to learn a lot and we're going to have a great time.
So I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. It was kind of daunting at first. I remember when I got the email saying I was in, and I thought, oh gosh, I got all this responsibility now. But going into it, so we had training that was online because of COVID. And we got to meet our senior past leaders, the people who are a lot more experienced in the past program than ourselves. And there was just so much support. And it really helped with that anxiety. And yes, I was nervous going into it, but coming out of it, I'm just so glad I got to be a part of it.
My story is different. So for my first meeting, it was all just meeting or kind of getting to know the rest of our team members. And it was really nice because all we did was just catch up, get to know who we were, get to know what we wanted to achieve this year, and then we had lunch together. So I don't really, relate to you guys about being nervous or anything. I had a great time. We had free lunch, and I got to meet my new team members. Yeah.
Thank you for being so honest about your experiences. We've shared a lot of information till now, so does anyone in the audience have any questions? Any questions at all about anything that we've said so far, or about our programs, about our course, about our programs mostly? Oh, we've got a question here.
Well, thank you very much. So my name is Annette. I manage the Global IQ Connect program. I just wanted to say that, first of all, two things. The name is misleading, so my program has nothing to do with IQ. As Caleb pointed out, that will be changed next year. It's all about cultural diversity, how to manage cultural diversity. So please forget the IQ in the name. The second thing I wanted to say is, compared to all the other panel members, when you, this program, as a student, you're not a volunteer. It's not volunteering. So you're meeting students from all over the world who want to register, but you're not volunteering. It's a personal development program. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you for pointing that out. Any other questions? Oh, we've got one there.
Hi, this is Anish, and I'm a master's student from construction management. I just want to know, like, how you guys will be, how the events will be for the culture integration. I mean, how the your events, which you're talking about, will help in the culture integration. How we'll get to know about the other person.
I might take that one if that's all right. I would say, particularly with Global IQ Connect, what the program really helps you do is it helps you build like an understanding of like culture as a whole and as a concept, rather than, for instance, okay, this is Australian culture and this is how we do this, we do that, we do that, we don't do that, we don't do that. It's more about looking at things that are often different in various cultures, and then from there, like, and you do have some of this discussion with your groups, from there realising what some of the differences may be and what the best ways to approach that are. But I'd say when it comes to, I'm not sure if you're talking more directly about what it's like coming to Adelaide and the experience with that, I would say, at least for me, I found that Adelaide has been, I should point out, I'm not an international student, but the feeling I've gotten from everyone that I have talked to, both domestic and international, is that it's extremely welcoming. Like, there are people that will just want to have a chat with you. So just head on out to events and just say hi to people, introduce yourself, tell them your name, tell them what interests you, and just have really good chats. And I reckon you'll really enjoy your time here with us.
Yeah, to add on to that, as an IPM as well, we have some of our, like throughout the semester on some Fridays, we've got this event called Language and Cultural Engagement event, which is basically we display the culture of a country, and everyone's welcome. Domestic students, international students, even if you're not from that culture, everyone is welcome. There's dance, there's information about that culture, there's free food of that from that culture. So that also, you know, helps with the cultural, you know, just getting to know other cultures and just acknowledging, yes, that these cultures exist and these are the differences, but also like to balance out, like just to be able to handle those differences. So yeah, as an international peer mentor, yeah.
Absolutely. To add on to that, I was just at the Solomon Island LCE event, and I think one of the best things about being a new student at university is that you get to meet people from diverse backgrounds, and events like these are definitely things that would celebrate multiculturalism, basically. Speaking from the AU's perspective, we're also affiliated with a lot of cultural clubs. So personally, I was part of the Malaysian club, and I know when my first year when I came here, it was a bit intimidating to make friends with new people and to break out of your shell. So definitely with regards to cultural integration, I think joining a club from people with similar background maybe at first might be a good way to acclimate yourself slowly with like more senior students who maybe have more experience at it.
Yeah, we've got, just to let you guys know, we've got the South Korean night on the 5th of August. Just to let you know.
I'd like to add that Study Adelaide has lots and lots of events in regard to, you know, settling into Adelaide. I will highly recommend for you to subscribe to Study Adelaide's emails, or if you can, check on your phone the Study Adelaide website. We do have lots of opportunities for you to, integrate into the community, also learn how to get jobs in Adelaide, meet other people who are just like you, new international students who have not really known too much about Adelaide. So yeah, pretty much go into the Study Adelaide website and you'll be able to find a bit more information about that. Yeah.
I just wanted to add as well that part of the past training involves cultural awareness and being able to foster an environment and being able to foster discussion that's culturally sensitive and culturally aware as well. But yeah, just wanted to add that.
I just wanted to add one point of the LCE, that if there's an LCE coming up for your country, you get to be a part of it as well. You get to be an ambassador and you get to represent your culture. So it's not that something we're just getting off the internet and portraying it to you guys. It's people from that country who come as ambassadors and teach you about their culture. So if you get an opportunity of your country being an LCE event, just look out for an email which says, do you want to be an ambassador? And you can be part of it too.
Our panelists sure do have a lot to talk about. So for the final question, we've got what has been your experience so far at the University of Adelaide, and what would be your advice to the commencing students that you wish you were told during orientation, and just about, getting connected and getting involved at the university?
Yep. So I guess my main advice would be, especially for people who are just starting a degree, is that it's your first year. There's a huge amount of clubs and volunteering opportunities that you could be involved in that would enrich your uni experience, basically. And just to always say yes to new opportunities. Yeah.
My advice would be, if you're ever confused, just ask for help. There's so many people around you just waiting to help you, and they are there for you. And even if it's just if you want to email a course coordinator, they are also there to help you. So don't be afraid to just ask. If you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. So just ask.
I reckon my biggest piece of advice, I think Ryan summed up beautifully in one word, and that word is yes. So absolutely just putting yourself out there, being aware of what's on offer. So for instance, I found out about Global IQ Connect for the first case in the student news email. So that's an email that's sent out every Wednesday afternoon or evening that everyone gets straight to their Outlook inbox. So I would definitely be on top of that. I'd sit down, have a good read of that. I'd be following like the university on Facebook, organisations like UX on Facebook, any clubs you might be interested in, definitely get on top of them, and that's just the way. Keep on top of what's happening and just say yes. Go to different events, and even if you don't know people that are going to be at those events, just say yes, head on down, introduce yourself, make new friends, and that's absolutely how you'll get a fantastic, welcoming experience at Adelaide.
So my experience at Adelaide has been enriched by volunteering and being a part of these amazing programs and opportunities. So yeah, just to paraphrase what some of the other panelists have said, really go forward with these opportunities. Put your name down for things, even if you don't think you'll get in. Be a part of clubs, be a part of the volunteer program. Because we know that, obviously we are here to learn, but there's also the social and volunteering aspect of university that's also very, how do I explain it? It is enriching. So I would really recommend just being involved. You might, I was very hesitant at first for the first, so I did another degree before this. I didn't complete it, but, and I was just so hesitant. I thought I'm just going to go to uni just to go to the lecture and go home. But it's just so much more than that.
I'd say try have fun. Pretty much, just try have fun.
My advice would be, yes, make the most out of it. If you're scared, just say, YOLO and just do it. But also, especially for international students, I would say, don't overwhelm yourselves. It's a very new experience when you come out of a new country, when you have to do everything by yourself. It can be, and on top of that, you have to be on top of your courses. It can be very overwhelming, and it can lead to a burnout from a psychology student that's coming. Just don't overwhelm yourself. But yes, make the most out of it, and yeah, do it while you can. So that's the end of our questions. Any questions that the audience has? Any questions at all? Yeah, none? All right. Thank you so much to the panelists. Thank you so much to the audience for coming and listening to us. Thank you.